Welcome back to Vanta Pulse. I'm going to tell you a story today, one that parents in Japan whisper to their children to keep them safe. It's about a woman, not just any woman, but one who towers above everyone else. They call her Hachishakusama, the 8-foot-tall woman. A boy once went to visit his grandparents in the countryside. Their old wooden house sat in the middle of quiet farmland, the kind of place where the cicadas never stop crying and shadows grow long in the late summer heat. One afternoon, as he played in the garden, he noticed something strange beyond the hedge. At first, he thought it was just a woman standing on the other side. But then, his stomach dropped. Her head and shoulders rose far above the hedge. She was taller than any person he had ever seen, nearly twice the height of his grandfather. A long white dress clung to her frame, swaying gently in the breeze. And then he heard it. A hollow mechanical sound, echoing across the fields like an old engine sputtering to life. The boy froze, staring up at the woman who was impossibly tall, her shadow stretching across the garden. Her arms seemed too long for her body, her knees bent at unnatural angles. She ducked her head slightly to peer over the hedge, as if she were looking directly at him. Panicked, he ran inside to tell his grandparents. But the moment he described what he had seen, their faces drained of colour. His grandmother locked the doors and windows. His grandfather whispered a name, barely audible, as if even speaking it too loudly would draw her closer. Hachishakusama. They explained that once she chooses a child, she will never let them go. No matter how far you run, she follows. She calls to you with her strange voice. And if you answer, you will vanish. No one has ever returned. That night, his grandparents summoned a priestess. She came carrying salt, holy charms, and a small wooden statue of a protective deity. They sealed the boy inside a room, chanting prayers, placing charms on every window, every door. He was warned.
Do not open the door, no matter what you hear.
At first there was only silence, but then came the sound. Slow, deliberate footsteps circling the house. The boy held his breath as the floor creaked outside his door. Then, the sound was so close it rattled the paper walls. A woman's shadow slid across the window, so tall it stretched from floor to ceiling. She bent low, peering in. And then a voice. Not the priestess, not his grandmother, but something pretending. It's me. Open the door. I have something for you. The boy trembled. Her voice was almost perfect. Almost. But just slightly wrong. Too deep. Too hollow. He clutched the wooden statue and shut his eyes, praying she would go away. The footsteps lingered, scratching against the frame. The handle of the door shook, and then silent. At dawn, the priestess returned. The ritual was over. The boy had survived the night, but there was a price. He could never return to this village again. If he did, Hachishakusama would know. She never forgets her chosen prey. The family rushed him into a car. As they drove away, he dared to look back. And there she was, striding through the rice fields, her white dress glowing in the morning light. She was so tall that each step covered impossible distance. Though the car sped faster and faster, she did not shrink from view. She only stopped when the village disappeared behind the trees. That was the last time he ever saw his grandparents' home. Years later, he is grown now. He lives far from the countryside, in a busy city filled with lights and noise. Sometimes, when he closes his eyes at night, he still hears the cicadas. He still remembers that voice.
Open the door. I have something for you.
And once, on his way home from work, he swore he heard it again. He never turned around. He didn't need to, because Hachishakusama never forgets. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more chilling tales, remember to like, share and subscribe. There's plenty more waiting for you. If you dare.